So, underlying energy, we've got you're waiting for an outcome with this Three of Wands reversed. But the message in this is don't get yourself worked up over nothing. As you're waiting for this, don't work yourself into a tizzy while you're waiting. Because that's the energy that's coming through here. And with the Fool as the clarifier, you're okay to take a leap of faith, and maybe you did with this thing you're waiting on, but you know, with the Fool, it's just don't be careless, but don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. So as you're waiting on this outcome, seriously, don't get worked up over nothing. You know, let it come, let it flow. And I'm going to jump right over to the foundation, because I feel like this ties in to the underlying energy, and I also find very, very, very strongly that this foundation, it's a true foundation of everything that's going on here. So your foundation, you have the Star card, which is fantastic because this is like one of the best cards in the deck. This is dreams coming true, wish fulfillment, all this wonderful, beautiful stuff. So this is a fantastic thing to have as part of your foundation. However, with the clarifier, I want to know what's going on here, because this is a Nine of Swords. And this is about worry and fretting, shit keeping you up at night, but you're all up in your head about it. Just like with this Three of Wands in reverse, whatever this thing is coming in, and the message is, you know, don't get worked up over nothing. This is what you're doing here, right in the foundation. Foundation, which is like this amazing foundation. Another foundation, the Fool, you know, beginning a new journey, taking a leap of faith. Yet here you are, all up in your head. So we need to see what's happening here. So then we've got here the Ace of Swords, and this is about it's an ace, so it's like receiving, but this is about thoughts. This is about the thoughts that you're receiving, and with this in the reverse, it's about don't get upset or angry about events and things that happen. Try not to let things get to you or bother you within this whole situation. And the clarifiers that come with this is we've got the Tower. Okay, so Tower always means some kind of a shakeup. I'm not picking up anything mind-blowing or super life-altering. There is going to be something happening, but with the Nine of Coins, you're pretty stable. Like, you're pretty happy and stable. But I will say that don't hold everything to your chest. Like, okay, so pentacles or coins, however you want to put it, typically denote like earthly possessions, material things, wealth, that type of thing, resources. So let's say if you've got your bag of coins and you're just holding it to you, right? I don't think that's quite the energy here, but it could creep in. You know, share it with someone, share it with people. And maybe there's a little bit of fear there with that, with this Tower moment coming in, which I kind of get with the next cards, because then we have the Five of Pentacles, which to me is the worst card in the deck. So I just want to talk about this for a few minutes. So a lot of people think that the Three of Swords is the worst card in the deck, or one of the worst. Let's call it the worst. And I used to, until I really started working with this. So the Five of Pentacles, typically, again, it's pentacles, so earthly possessions, money, resources. So a depiction of this, quite very typical, is lack, okay, and usually money. So it's being poor, it's being out in the cold, not having shelter, like, you know, really crappy like earthly type things. But to me, it's not so much material possessions or money. It's also when you are lacking confidence, when you are lacking hope. So it's not always about material things. This is lack in any way, shape, or form. Anytime you're feeling lack, that's like a recipe for disaster. If you know anything about law of attraction, that is not an energy you want to be in. And then coupled with this is the Two of Swords. And that is being in a position where you just don't know what to do. So as already, like pulling this together, let's go back to the underlying energy and the foundation. We've got some good stuff, okay? So we've got take a leap of faith, we've got the Star card, we've got our Nine of Coins, right? But there's the worry. There's the worry and the doubt. This is, lack or being left out in the cold or not being included or, being in the dark and then not knowing what to do about it. So this is such a mix of good and bad, but what I'm really, really picking up, the more of these types of pairings that are coming through is these perceived negative situations. And you know what? That's the word. It's perceived. It's your perception of what's going on, and it's not real. So sorry, I'm saying what I'm getting. Like, I don't sugarcoat stuff, and it's like whatever you feel like you're missing out on or you're lacking or whatever it is, where you don't know what to do, it's all in your head. It's all up in your head. You need to get out of here. Because, like I said, this is foundation. You have to get out of your head. When we look at the past, what was going on, you left something behind with the Eight of Cups reversed. Okay, so you're leaving something behind, and I'm sensing that there might have been some financial instability. And I'm picking this up mostly because of this Nine of Coins. So if you've got a bit of a shakeup and you're not sure what to do, and you've got this perceived crappy situation where you're left out or you're feeling some lack, maybe that stemmed from what you walked away from in the past, where maybe there was some financial instability. Now this points to finances. It could be something else, it could be other resources, but we're going to talk finances. And it feels like this situation from the past is tied to a relationship. I don't know whether it's a romantic relationship or like a business type of deal. And it could be something else. Again, these are general reads, so take it as it resonates for you, if at all. But I have a feeling this from the past might be what's driving a lot of this, and it's still keeping you up at night. This old underlying energy is still with you, and you have to get rid of that. That has to go. That has to go. When we're coming to the present, things are good. So with the World card, this is fulfillment. This is about fulfillment and the ending of a cycle, but in a good way. It's kind of funny because we've got the Fool card over here and then the World card here. The whole premise of tarot, the way the cards, the major arcana are, is you start with the Fool and you end with the World. And it's the Fool's journey is what it is. So every step along the way, all of these personas or whatever that come along and situations brings you to the end of the cycle, which is the World, where this is your fulfillment and the end of a whole cycle. So, and that's a good thing. And I'm picking up good here too, because I'm also getting that now, or if you don't have this now, very soon, you found your tribe. And they're fun. Like it's a little friendly competition, and it's like group efforts and coming together, and this is your tribe. This is coming. If it's not here already, it's almost here, which is a really, really important thing. So I think that this cycle from here, from this worry and whatnot, coming through to this stuff keeping you up at night, you know, look at all these lovely little things that are coming along the way. You've got your star card. You're ending this cycle. You're coming out of this. You know, your tribe's coming in. And then in the future, more good stuff. Seven of Pentacles. It's getting ready to reap the rewards. You know, you've put in the effort. You've done your work. And again, it's Pentacles. So this tends to be material. So it could be wealth. Which is a bit of an underlying energy here, in a good way though. So you're waiting to reap the rewards, and you've put in the work, and that's great. I think that's an extremely good thing. You've tended your garden. But and this is like the theme of this reading. I hate to keep bringing this up, but with the Queen of Swords here, it's like there's a little bit of loss of confidence. And I think it's coming back here. It's the stuff that's keeping you up at night. It's not knowing what to do. And I hope you turn this around, like with your new tribe, with the cycle ending, stuff coming in new. Because there's a lot of good coming, you can tell. You're going to reap the rewards of what comes in here. And right now, if I look at your energy, you've got some victories. There's some good stuff that's been happening with the Six of Wands, but you're doubting it. You've got some uncertainties there, and you know I'm shaking my head. I know you can't see me, but I'm shaking my head because then with the Seven of Wands here, it's like you're weighed down by problems, and there's tension and stress, and it's like you've lost your mojo. Like you don't have the guts to do what needs to be done, even though, you know, you've got things to be proud of and things to celebrate. So where this card is coming in, and it's talking about being weighed down by problems. Are you really? Or is it perception? Is it your perception? And I'm not trying to discount that, because our feelings are our feelings, and that's an important thing. No one can take that away from you, and no one can discount them. But these messages are just bringing to light, like, do a little self-assessment and see if you are all up in your head, and if it is your perception and perhaps not the reality. And I'm trying not to sound harsh about this, because like, I'm actually feeling pretty emotional about it, because it's hard. Like, it's tough. It's like a hard energy to look at, and especially when I'm reading it, I'm like, there's so much good in here. There's so much good in here. Please see it, you know. And then the perceptions around you. Seven of Cups. You've got choices. More choices. Like, you have choices. And here's the interesting thing. So when we look at a little bit of what's going on externally. Okay. So Seven of Cups. You have all these choices. Okay. And with the Four of Cups in reverse, and this is interesting, coupled with the Hierophant reversed, here's what I'm getting. Okay, stick with me, because this is a good one. Okay. So you have a bunch of choices, and you're actually going to get an offer coming in. Okay? It's going to be from someone who is an authority figure. And normally, you would be the one to question authority and go, oh, well, you know, that's coming from a cop or a lawyer or a teacher or someone, like think establishment, right? And think conformity or whatever. You would normally question the crap out of that and go, I don't think so. You think I'm going to take something from you? Ain't freaking happening, right? Normally that would be your reaction. I'm laughing because I'm doing this lightheartedly, right? And the message here is don't turn your nose up at it. I mean, even if this was just the Four of Cups, that would probably be the message anyway. But the fact that this card is coming in, and this is a person, okay? This is a person who is going to make an offer, and you're just going to want to do this and like not even turn your head and look at it. I would very strongly suggest looking at this offer, because you just never know. Doesn't mean you have to take it, but don't discount it just because of who it's coming from. So that's I thought that was pretty cool, actually. And then we come to your hopes and fears, and this is all about your hopes, which this gives me hope in this reading that, you know, you want good. Okay, so when you look at the Four of Wands, it's about achieving a goal and being satisfied and all that. And then with the clarifier, you've got Temperance, which is all about balance. So you want that goal. You know what? You want to reap those rewards, right? And you want to have a nice, happy, balanced outcome. And anything is possible. Got to get out of your head. And at the end of the road, we've got, okay, so this has been a tough reading for me, I'm sorry. Okay, so with the Six of Swords, this denotes that you're moving away from something. What I'm getting here is make sure you are not running away from your fears. Because if you're moving away from something, that can be a good thing. So let's say, okay, I'm going to make some not dumb, but obvious analogies. Okay, so you're in an abusive relationship. You want to move away from that. Okay, yes, that's good, because then you get better. This could be moving away from negative thoughts. This could be moving away from old deep-rooted beliefs that no longer serve you, right? It doesn't have to be a physical move, though it can. Point is, make sure you're not running away from fears. And literally fears came up. Fears, right? Fears, uncertainty, all of this stuff. Make sure you're not running away. With the Lover's card, you know, it's about choices, and it's about trust and commitment and fulfillment. I'm actually getting that you might be running away from your fears. And I'm strongly getting that the fear you're running from is commitment. Commitment to what? I don't know. Could be a person. Could be a job. Could be family. It could be a business. Maybe you're made some kind of a business offer, right, by this Hierophant. But I'm picking that up. That you're running away from your fears. And your fears of commitment. So this is the heaviest read I've done so far this month. This is there you go. It's heavy. There's a lot. But again, I'm coming back to this. Fears, you know. Don't be running away from stuff. And are the fears real? Are you all up in your head? You know what? Get rid of it. Gone. Okay, done. Get rid of them. Get rid of your fears. Get out of your head. Get out of your head and into your heart. Oh. So that's the reading. That's it. So Pisces, wow, you have so much here, and I really want you to focus on the positive. I really, really do. There's a lot of good here. You know, focus on your tribe. Focus on what you've been working on hard to achieve, or you worked hard to achieve, and you know what you have, even your material possessions, whatever, offers coming in, choices. These are good. You want that balance, you want that happiness. It's possible. It's totally possible. But don't run away from your fears, and make sure your fears are founded and that they're real. You know, I hope they're not. I hope they're not real, because nobody likes fears. They're not fun. So I hope this helps you. Another thing I will say before I get into pulling a couple of oracle cards is, this is an energy read. Okay, so we're talking about the current energy that I'm picking up on for the month. And you have the power to change that. At any point in time in your life, in your circumstances, we always have the power to change things. And I say this so many times, tap into your intuition. You know, listen to your gut. It's not going to steer you wrong. If it does steer you wrong, it means you weren't listening to it.